What's up, guys? Dehvin Simms here, back with another live stream. On this channel, we help men navigate life, travel, finances, and self improvement. Do make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, I'm having some backlash there.
Oh, we do it live.
That's why we go live, man. Sorry about that, guys. Do make sure to hit that like, subscribe button so you don't miss out. Also, guys, the Velorux website is now live and now accepting pre-orders. Don't forget to also follow our private Facebook group as we all get together to share our experience with the world. The link will be in the description below. So without further ado, let's get in the live stream. We have a great guest here. He's here to talk about Colombia, man. So Big Mo, tell him who is Big Mo.
My name is BigMo, BITW. I am a music artist. I am a music engineer. I'm an audio engineer, and I am the audio engineer for the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So what made you come to Colombia or want to go?
Um, I always want to say I've always wanted to travel. Throughout my whole life, I've always been so intrigued to travel and to learn, like, okay, what is, like, what's out there. I want to know what's out there. I want to know more, like, you know just to see the rest of the world. And because down here in South Florida, it's super diverse, so we learn so much about many cultures, so many ethnicities, people from so many different backgrounds. And I've always been so interested on, hey, where do these people come from? I need to know. So that's what inspired me to, like, and Colombia was one of, like, the top destinations on my list, for certain reasons that, of course, we're going to get into. So yeah, um Colombia was one of the first on my list. And I was so glad that I've made it happen. And I hope to have more countries that I'm going to be traveling in.
Man, that's good inspiration there, man. So for the audience who may not know on how you actually became a music artist, can you speak on that?
Yes. um this is something that I've been, this is something that's such a young age, since I was about, I know I started discovering that I could sing when I was about 13 years old. And and then, when I was about 15, that's when I started, like, really getting into making music. Or, well, I started still learning how to make music when I was about, like, 13, 14. But 15 was when I really started, like, say, I want to really learn this. I want to take it serious. um and I come from a music background, especially with, from my mom's side of the family, where everyone was, damn near a musician. My mom was a singer herself. uh, and, on most in majority of her brothers and sisters are fellow musicians, from even from her father's side. So, music runs very deep into me. So for so many years I've been exposed to music my whole life. So, um, I just ended up taking that with me.
Mhm. So how competitive do you think the music industry is in the United States?
Oh, super competitive. Um, and one thing, when I say, you have to go through so many no's. So many people just gonna tell you no. So many people gonna screw you over. So many people trying to get ahead of you. Or when you start building something, so many people want to use you as, like, a stepping stool to for them to get to the next level. You'll
Mhm.
find a lot of people who are going to support you along the way. But so many people, like, some people, they just want to get ahead, and they just want to get one over you. And a lot of people,
Wow.
and people who are at a good level, um they don't have time to really hear you out, which I understand. That's but you would have to be so ready to hear no, 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 so many different times. And it's about, are you willing to keep pushing? Are you willing to keep investing? So that's what it's all about.
Mm, that's a good point there, man. Wow. 'Cause I actually don't. I'm not really knowledgeable in terms of actually knowing the music industry.
Yeah.
So it's definitely interesting to hear that from you.
This is something I've been learning for so many years, and now I've built a lot of networks, long before I was on the Fresh and Fit podcast. I've been building a lot of networks, and I got a really great team behind me. Shout outs to the union season. Um, I got a great team behind me. That's if it wasn't for them, it would have been extremely difficult for me to see more progress. So having a team behind me was amazing.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron, Walter, Chris.
Hmm.
Oh man.
And
So
just getting with them took just put another level. And sorry, I did interrupt you. Go
no,
ahead.
you're totally fine. It's all on you, man.
Uh,
So when you actually travel to Colombia, what would you say is the best year to actually travel to Colombia? Like
um,
best time of year?
Anytime really, because Colombia is you're thinking year round warmth. It's warm year round. Um, I remember when I went was actually in November. Um, it was November 2020, and normally in the United States that's the winter time, but Colombia did if it damn near felt like the summer. And any time is the best time. The minute and I had got it when it had just opened up. They had just opened up their borders, and we was in the middle of this pandemic with the bear bug. Of course, I'm going to use the replacement words for now. So um but yeah. um but it had just opened up. And um I remember because I had got my passport. I had renewed my passport, I think, within the middle of the summer. It was May, somewhere around May, that I had got that renewed the passport. And once the border opened up, it opened up maybe around September, October, and I booked it for November the minute I found out it opened up.
Mm, you were
Anytime is
ready.
the best time, you know.
Okay. So what would you say is the best tourist spot once you get in Colombia?
The city I had went to was Cartagena. That is known for, that's the most tropical area with the best beaches. And you know me, my family's Caribbean, and I come from a Caribbean background. So
Mm,
Cartagena gives that Caribbean feel. Like I said, with the warmth, the humidity, so much flavor. um in one specific place I suggest is Boca Grande, which is known as like it's a more safer area where you can be around. um and you can walk around anywhere. It's known as one of the safer areas from different researches I've done. um so yeah, Boca Grande in Cartagena.
mm. So how much money would it take to actually live comfortably in Colombia?
um
Just on average.
I would say if you're even in American dollars, about maybe 30,000 a year, like a 30K a year to make a really good living in Colombia. I could probably even push it to 20K. I could push it to 20K really. Um but especially at that time, I was making roughly 30K a year at that time, and I didn't even have like big investings yet. I didn't I didn't have things fully built yet. I was going somewhere. I was on my way, but it wasn't something to really count. Um, so even regular, through my regular jobs, I was making about 30K a year. And I felt I was damn near living like a king. And that was just through the hotels.
Mm. Man, this lets you know, man. The American dollar can just stretch all the way over there in Colombia, man.
Goes very far.
Wow. Guys, get that passport, man. You gotta see the
Oh my,
world out there.
get the passports, man. I really promise you. Even, there's many different places. Cartagena was probably, I don't, man. It stretches over there.
All right, this is gonna be a good one, man. How's the food in the restaurants over there, man?
Oh my God, man. Whoo. You're thinking that's probably one of the best foods I've ever tasted. And you know me, I'm a big guy. Of course I love food. I mean, come on, we know that. You know what I'm saying. Um, and I always bring the fact that I'm Caribbean. I come from a Caribbean background, so traditional foods and authenticity is has always been the most important to me. I love traditional foods. I love authentic foods. I love authentic Caribbean style foods. And Colombia fits that, especially when you're there where everything's more pure. There is no there's no processed, foods. There's no GMO, no BS, no bull stuff that American companies put in their foods.
Mm.
Even even the McDonald's is a lot healthier over there. Like it's
What?
so pure. Yes, the McDonald's, even and the KFC. I've had both of them over there. You can like really taste like the pure, like even I'll never forget. I remember I at McDonald's I had the chicken deluxe sandwich, and in the middle of eating the sandwich, I ended up tasting the marrow of the bone. Like the marrow
Yeah.
that's like still, and it's like what? It's like it showed you how natural the chicken was. Like, and because I was like, yo, did they like murk the chicken like as I was ordering? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll get the chicken deluxe, and then you that's and it was when it that's how like pure the food was, that I was convinced that they murked the chicken as I was ordering it. And it was like even the sodas are pure because the sugars are straight out the cane. It's not like processed either. Everything is so pure, and that's just the fast foods. Now, to get to the actual restaurants, where it's even more highlighted, the purity of the foods is even more highlighted, is more like, it's more authentic, it's more traditional. Like, I remember I had the steak. It was so like it it was so easy to cut. It was so tender. It was the equivalent of a five-star restaurant caliber steak. And normally in America, even in like Miami, steak like that is about, I can tell you that specific steak I had equated to about 70, 80, maybe $90 worth. In If you're in a Miami restaurant, to get the caliber steak I had, 70, 80, $90 you would look at through that ballpark. And that was a
Jesus.
steak alone. The meal I had with it, I spent $15. That was with
Oh
and
my
that and that
goodness,
was with
bro.
tip. And I spent the equivalent of $15.
Oh
And that
my
was my meal
goodness,
alone.
man. Man.
That tells you how far the dollar stretches, that you will get a $70 to $90 steak. It was really $12, but the extra $3 was a tip. That's what made it to $15. So so that I spent $15, but it so that was 12. So that's $12.
Oh my goodness, man. Guys, man, you have to get that passport. Travel the world, man.
You really have to get out there, like, and um that it's something that I'm a big advocate on, telling guys like, hey, get your passports, learn the country that you're about to go to, do research on the countries, and and save that money to travel there, wherever. Doesn't matter where it is. I went to Colombia. You guys could go to, I don't know, Russia, UK, Romania, Japan, Philippines, anywhere, Mexico, anywhere. Just get out there and travel, see something different. So Devin, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
totally
so,
fine,
yeah.
man.
I'm so like I really am just talking about traveling, and that's it's always what I'm about. Is And it's also kind of like the shtick of my brand, where a lot of my fans are international. So I'm even extra adamant on learning different countries and different cultures. So, you know, just going to Colombia was such a breath of fresh air.
Man, that's amazing, man. But yeah, man, do tell your story, man. We'll have nothing against you on here. Um, so for the audience out there who may not know, how's the nightlife in Colombia?
Oh, um, you know, it's a good and bad, because you have to know exactly where you're going. It's not like it's in the area I went wasn't dangerous, but you know, it's the part that makes you kind of appreciate America, where everyone's very persistent when it comes to people like who live on the street. They are very persistent, or street workers, street workers. They have a lot of persistence. Um, but nightlife is like the really good parts of the nightlife is the fact that everyone's just out to have fun and out to dance. And you know one of my favorite quotes is, when in Rome, do as you say, when in Rome, do as the Russians do. um it's which is an insider, but you guys can say basically, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So if you're like having fun along with the locals, if you're doing as the locals do, um they're gonna appreciate you having fun with them. um I haven't had a bad experience, like people would be scared to say, because the bad experiences are very rare. They're not really a thing. Not everyone is so out to get you. you know um and it's just, and people are loud. They love to party. They will party all night, and they will dance all night. They are drinking beer all night. Like, they are
Man,
like, they get down. And I'm keeping up, because I love dancing. I dance a lot. I can dance all night. So they really appreciated seeing that. So yeah.
oh wow, man. So how's the fashion sense over there?
Huh. It's very it's not There's not like a big fashion sense. Now a lot I always suggest that, not to wear something like a dress up. Sometimes even casual, you might be overdressing, unless you're at a nightclub. Then you can have on a nice shirt or nice button down, just a regular nice button down, not like a. Don't try to. Don't. I wouldn't suggest rocking like a Gucci. If you look like you got a ton of money, it could it could cause some just a few inconveniences,
Mm.
where people will try to stop you and try to sell you something, and they won't leave you alone. They won't stop. They'll be like, yo, you got it. um
So what about some like a little like a dress shirt, some good jeans, or some Chelsea boots? How
yeah,
about that?
that I would actually say like some boots from like Walmart, or or some small Walmart sneakers, and that's actually what I had going out there. I did have a certain dance shoes that I wear, but it's not like a known big expensive brand. um and but that's like dressing up in like the nightlife. But during out in the day, it's better to like kind of dress down a bit, like just a regular, or like a regular t-shirt. um yeah, like a regular t-shirt, maybe some regular jeans, um you know just a plain shoes, and you should be fine. um they'll still like they'll still know that you're not a local. They'll still know that you're a foreigner, but it's not like, it's not like let's bother him. He gotta like that. No. Or there's times or even there's times I suggest like even just a sleeveless shirt. Like not like a tank top, but just like a regular sleeveless shirt. I would also recommend, especially out during the day. Or basketball shorts. Like a sleeveless
Mm.
shirt, some basketball shorts, walking around, you know, you would be fine.
Shout out to Myron.
Oh yeah, dress yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. Dress like Myron, just like that. Like you can like it's like proper to go out like that. Like, and you're a foreigner, so it's not like you're going to work or a business trip or something, like a business meeting. Um, you're a foreigner on vacation. So, rock the sleeveless shirt, basketball shorts, some Walmart shoes. And it's funny, I'm saying Walmart like it's like, like it's the cheap, well, which it is the cheapest shoes, but to them over there, that's still like high class fashion, like, you know. Um, so yeah.
Mm. So how are the women in Colombia?
Oh yeah. I know you was looking forward to getting to this.
You know it was coming.
Of course. You're thinking some of the most beautiful women in the world, just all compressed in one area. Oh my god. I haven't it's whole hard if to see an ugly woman over there. She's probably like well aged out, or or even some of like the uglier women there are still really cute in United States. Like if you took that okay looking woman there, she would knock it out the park out here in the United States, bro. That's how common the beauty is, and they're just so. And I always say, bro, they're so naturally feminine, bro. Oh my god. One of my favorite quotes, um, it was I don't remember who said it, but I remember it was in, one of the mentors, Donovan Sharp, one of in his lives. Someone said, true femininity is disarming to any man's defenses. And man, so going out there in Colombia, almost damn near almost all the women there, all they do is they just ooze true femininity. And it's such a refreshing, like, oh my god. They're and it just comes natural, like so effortless.
Like a white on rice.
Oh my god, bro. It's exact like what it's like white on rice. Femininity on Colombian women. But
Man.
and you're thinking women who are super traditional. So you better be on your masculine game, and you better they will expect you to adhere to your traditional values, in order to, you know so they're going to be traditional, but you better be traditional damn well too. They're going to expect you to, to pay for the date. They're going to expect you to make sure, like, you're walking in front of them. They're going to expect you to, like, have that like like that even keel, that they're gonna have that tough demeanor. They're gonna want you to put your chest out. Even though I have a natural, like, soft tone voice, um you still gotta have, like, that demeanor, like, hey, I don't play no games, I'm a man. And and I'm the man, I'm the leader. So you got they're and I'm gonna need to be in control, and I'm gonna be giving you directions, and you better follow them. And a lot of these women, they will get in line, and they will uphold their feminine traits.
Mm. No, man, that's actually powerful too, man. Because in the United States, man, the women here are just really masculine, man. A lot of them. Now, I can understand that in Colombia, the girls over there are much more feminine, but they're actually
Al-
raised to be feminine.
Although they will check you, they will check you. So you better be ready to put your foot down. And once you put your foot down, then they'll be like, okay, this this guy, he's the man. Like he the real one. Like, he's the realest. He's off the okay.
Keep that masculine frame.
Yep. Yes, exactly. You got to keep that masculine frame. Then they will check you. If you, you know, if they show some, if there's some, like, I'm trying to figure out a good way. I don't know how to. I don't know if I try not to curse here, but but you hold that masculine frame. Don't try to give in. They don't try to show that submissiveness. You gotta hold that masculine frame.
So, how's the gym culture over there in Colombia?
Um, I haven't really gotten a real glimpse on the gym culture, but what I've seen, they there's a lot of, like, outside workouts that they do. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of machines out, like, machine, like, workouts. Like, even if there's barely any, like, dumbbells. There's a lot of the gym cultures you think of is like aerobics. That's the word I was looking for. Like aerobics, like workouts that they do. Especially because dance culture is huge out there. So therefore, there's your there's like an inherent demand for athleticism and being light on your feet and being nimble. Um, so with that, that's what, like an aerobics like workouts provide. Like that's what's, like, really prevalent over there. There's not a lot of, like, machine weights, built muscles. Like, that's not you don't I don't really you don't really see much of that. But everyone is very light on their feet and very nimble. So, if I could if I could really put a finger to it, you would think of aerobics like workouts. Um, whether like Zumba, yoga, um, calisthenics. Those type of workouts are, what's more prevalent out there. And really, that's something I had to find out, like, that I learned before. Like, I wasn't even in Colombia when I learned it. It was outside, like when I was still home. I had to
Mm.
learn that.
Oh wow. So how would you say is the marriage rate over there compared to Western countries?
Um, marriage rate is super low. I remember having a discussion, with some of the like fellow Fresh and Fit family. When we were actually looking up together. Um, marriage rates are super low, and I can actually understand why, because you know the laws are still kind of traditional, but they're not really female friendly necessarily, even though they still hold men accountable, but women are incentivized, to divorce. There's no like alimony, child support, nothing. It's not that prevalent. Like if you're leaving, if a woman's gonna leave her husband, the government's like gonna be like, you better have a damn good reason. If not, like, really is really you stuck. So so the woman's stuck if she's gonna leave her man. So she better have a damn good reason, bro. Like to leave, because when she does leave, when she does get that divorce, um, the government's not gonna take care of her. She's not gonna get taken care of. She's not gonna get incentivized. They're not gonna track down the guy, to get him out of his bank account. Especially a lot of the places and businesses where cash is king. In a lot of Colombia, cash is king. Like, so, there's no like the direct deposit that's gonna take from your account automatically. That's not prevalent out there. So, um, it's super traditional. So, marriage is a standard over there. They're women are like, they grew up to be wives. That's why a lot of them, most of them, they know how to cook, or they have some cooking skills and some cooking background, because they expect to be married, and it's a standard over there, and they expect to be taken care of. Like, the man better be able to take care of his woman. Um, but also at the same time, majority of them, they will demand monogamy.
Mm.
So they would demand the man to not exercise options, and to not have options to exercise. Um, you know, there are those that's more like open to letting the man exercise his options, but a lot of the women, they're going to demand monogamy. And I now this is a personal thing, that this is gonna go by person to person. Like, depending on, some guys, would rather it. Others, they're gonna feel like, well, more than one girl's a headache anyway, so might as well just stay to one. I would tell a lot of guys to take that deal, because there might be some disagreements here, but I personally would tell most guys to take that deal, because you're getting the most feminine. You're getting the most feminine wife. You're getting the wife that's gonna take care of you. She's gonna cook for you. She's gonna clean for you. She's gonna be that feminine, submissive woman. You know, if you already had, especially if you're a man that's already had your experience, and you've been around, and now you know what you really want, that's not a bad trade-off. I don't know if there might be a disagreement, but I personally believe that it's not that bad of a trade-off.
Yeah, I agree, man. When a woman's actually truly in her feminine, man, just you're able to be that masculine frame for her,
Hmm.
so you can lead the relationship. Because
And
usually, oh, go ahead.
because, like I said, if a woman's gonna leave, she's not gonna just do it, and because she knows there's no incentivization for women to leave um the marriage. So
Mm.
so when she's with you, she will cling on to you.
Yeah, that's certainly interesting, man. Way different from the marriage over here in the West, man. It's crazy, man. It's just a whole clown world over here.
It's like they still demand monogamy without even being traditional women. So I'm like,
Yeah.
and normally I'm not mad at women for demanding monogamy. I'm not mad at women like demanding for their man to not exercise options. I'm not mad at that. What I'm mad at is you're asking that while not being a traditional woman. Like like I'll still never forget one episode where where Myron was like, hey, for the man that you want, man who meets certain metrics, you're gonna have to add value, like cook for him and or after you have sex with him, help him clean a spot. And she was like, help him clean a spot?
Oh
What?
Lord.
Clean his she looked at Myron like she like he just slapped her or something. Clean his spot. Drake? Drake? Like clean she was so offended about taking it, like it was so offensive to take care of your man. What are we doing? You it's
Man.
offensive to take care of your man, like, and then on top of that you're going to demand monogamy. That's what I'm upset at. You're not willing to hold your feminine traits, and you're not upholding your traditional values, and you don't even want to take care of your man, and you demand monogamy. Hell, you demand commitment. You're not even going to be the main. You're not even good enough to be the main girl. You are barely good enough to be the side chick. Barely. You're really just good enough for me to be like, she looks cute. Keep it moving. That's all you good for. Like that's it. Like not even to bring to my crib, not even to bring to my room. And then you want monogamy? That's like the biggest difference. At least the women in Colombia, they demand monogamy, but they will uphold their traditional values. They will take care of you. They will cook for you. They will clean for you. They will be a good wife. They'll be a good mother. They'll listen to you. That's it. Now monogamy sounds like a fair trade, and that's one of the biggest differences.
Mm, that's some great points, man, for audience out here in the world. Um, so what kind of jobs do these women usually have in Colombia?
Um, Especially when you're married, they end up becoming like a stay at home, but a lot of them would have like office jobs, or like like sit down office jobs, or a lot of them like cooking jobs, cleaning jobs, um like a front desk. I've seen that's what I've seen a lot of those. um a lot of them work at the airport, but a lot of them, like, they kind of like, there's a lot of cohabitation going on. You know what I mean? Where it's many women who live together, or they still live with their families. Like like it's it's no it's no it's all right. I'm because all right. It's very common for a woman to be to still live with their parents. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
either their parents are taking care of them, or they're taking care of their parents, or they're taking care of each other. And she could be in her late 20s, even in her 30s, mid 30s, still living with their parents. And they're all scraping the money together until a man comes along and marries them. Um, and I know, and it's the guys that are really working like the more difficult jobs and stuff like that.
mm. So how's the online dating going over there? Because I know in the West, man, you might as well just put the app down, man.
I actually specialize in online dating. That's, I mean, well, I had really no choice. if I'm, learning about dating in Colombia, I have to do online dating. Um, you know, you have to have a good profile. You have to have professional pictures and pictures where you look like you're somewhere and you're somebody, like you're doing something. And then if you're a foreigner, there's a higher perceived value. So when you're like me, I'm going to use myself. I'm actually a great example. Because I've used different apps like Tinder I like to say Tinder like apps. Whereas like it's not Tinder, but they use the same formula, the swipe formula. You know what I mean? And down like if when I'm swiping locally, bro, I'm getting like, and I get it. I'm a big guy. I get it, which is on me, which I'm not complaining about it. I'm not crying about it. I'm not like, oh no, woe is no,
Oh,
no,
trust me,
no.
I was at
Yeah,
300 pounds, man, for a third
exactly,
transformation. I
exactly.
know what it was like.
So you get it. Um, s- so I'm probably getting like one match out of like every 500 to 1,000 swipes, and that's swipe rights, and I'm like swiping right like crazy, like swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right. I'm swiping right like insane, and and there's times I was still, I'm getting like no matches, and that's in a local. I mean, yes, it's Miami, which is it's the most difficult it's one of the most difficult cities to date. It's probably the most difficult city to date. Like a lot of the experience that I've had with women down here was not through apps. Only very few of them was through apps. Like I had to put myself out there, be out in person, or be part of a social circle. You know, like actually like actually approach. I've approached literally hundreds, maybe thousands of women. I've gotten rejected thousands of times, hundreds of times. Thousands. Yeah, I've gotten rejected thousands of times. Um, and but even though I still had to like continue to put myself out there, and when you put yourself out there, even a fat dude like me will find success in Miami, the most difficult city to date to actually find sex. So, um, but it's super. But like I said, you're thinking a handful out of thousands. Now, there's times I've used like the Tinder Plus and Tinder Gold, and I tell guys, look, if you're thinking about traveling, first of all, pay the $20-$30. Pay the $30, you got it. Like if you plan on traveling around, you have $30. So just pay it, or maybe or for even for that month or 2 or 3, just pay it, bro. Like don't trip over it. Like, oh, I don't want to pay for. Or there's other Tinder like apps where they cost less. They're less costly, so maybe like $10-$15. Just pay it, bro. Like, come on, don't. It is what it is. And so you're paying for the feature to swipe to other countries. And bro, and so as I was just telling you guys and telling all the audience, like, yo, I'm one match out of like 500 to 1,000 swipes. I'm sorry, swipe rights, not the ones I rejected, not the ones I swiped left on. Out of the ones I swiped right on, out of the thousands I've swiped right on, maybe 1 or 2 matches, which is still not enough to really source. When I swiped out in a country like Colombia, bro, I was a rolling stone, bro. My my Tinder bloop 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 notification bloop 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 match 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 match. You got a message 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 match 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 message 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 match match match. I'm a rolling stone, bro. Like there's just something about being a foreigner in Colombia. You just have a higher perceived value, and they see you as like the extra like top guy above everyone else. That even a fat dude like me, getting just my Tinder blown up, and then I can just and I can easily, bro. There's still so many girls that I haven't really gotten to even take the time to know yet, because that's how much options I have. That I still haven't like even I there's many girls that I just potential girls that I just wasn't able to get to.
Mm,
That's how much matches I had, and that's how much room I had to source.
that's motivation in itself, man.
And that's me as a fat dude. Don't get me started on someone who's even more in shape. And I'm 5'8", so don't get me started if you're like 6 foot. I'm a 5'8" fat dude, and I'm a rolling stone over there.
Mm. What would you say is the average height in Colombia? 'Cause I'm 6 foot, so
Oh, I would say average. I'm thinking about 5'6", 5'5" is for men. For men, 5'6". If if I have to push it, 5'7". Um, although there's a couple tall ones out there. Um,
mm,
I do see a couple like 6 footers, but it's a super diverse country. Like it's a like a racially diverse country. One of the most racially diverse countries I've ever seen. Well, at least the city, because it's in a tropical, it's in the Caribbean. So, you'll see some 6 footer guys, but if I'm really like when I was really looking, you're thinking between 5'5" to 5'7". And
mm.
the women are about average 5'2" to 5'3". And the
Now, do
tall and the really tall ones are like 5'8", 5'9".
okay.
I haven't seen like one 6 footer female.
Mm,
So they're all like they're all like between 5'2", 5'3", maybe 5'4" if I'm pushing it.
mm. So, do the women in well, just Colombians in general, do they speak English or
No,
you got to learn Spanish?
no, you got to learn. You got to learn. You have to learn. And I know there's other like very credible mentors that says you don't have to speak Spanish like that. I'm going to tell you, learn Spanish. You got to learn. Take the time, take to dedicate yourself to learning Spanish. Um, Especially during my time, I actually went to Colombia by myself, and I actually had got no help. I got zero help. Like these people, they will not help you. Like the most help only there was only two places that I actually saw people who knew English. Um, the women at the airport, and the money transfer office. That's it. That's it. I don't I haven't seen any. I couldn't see any like anywhere else. They can't help you. Maybe there's this bus boy who worked at the who he was a busboy at the hotel I was in. He tried he tried his best. He tried his damnness to find a way to speak, but bro, it was terrible, bro. And I was like, bro, you don't. And I had to tell him, bro, don't worry, bro. Like I speak Spanish, I know Spanish. It's okay. And he was so relieved, bro. And because I and that tells you, and he was in, and that was my guy, bro. Like that was my guy. That whole I was there for 8 days. So those 8 days, that was my guy. That was my homie. He helped me with everything. But when I first saw like I had to tell him like, don't worry, bro. I speak Spanish, bro. And 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 of course I'm just translating, because I'm actually speaking Spanish to him, but in Spanish I was telling him, don't worry, like I got you, like it's okay. I know Spanish, so you don't, and I speak Spanish well. I've been learning, um, and 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 I'm gonna have to say the girls I was with, you know, they even confirmed, like, yes, don't worry, you can speak Spanish to him. Um, and even going out to different restaurants and stores, there you have no help. They're not gonna help you. And like I said, I was there by myself. They're not gonna help you. The girl I was with, she spoke no English either anyway. Um, and she and it's something about when you don't know Spanish, it's almost like you ostracize yourself from even some of the finest, most beautiful girls that could be out there, simply because they don't know English. A lot of them, they're gonna try, they might think you're cute, but it's gonna be really hard to run game if you don't know Spanish. So it's going to keep you a lot of the beautiful women that you would have loved to get with, simply because of the fact that you never learned Spanish. Um, Especially the area I was in. So even where there's people who sell things on the street, or if they want to try to see if they can get one over on you, or they can squeeze extra money out of you, you got to be ready for that. And and they find out you don't know Spanish, they could possibly take advantage of that. Um, so you don't want to be taken advantage of. So I tell everyone, take the extra time out of your day. If you're going to any Hispanic country, not just Colombia, learn Spanish. I highly recommend it. I highly suggest it.
Mm. So Mo, is did you do you have any music that you're working on while you were in Colombia?
I actually only went to Colombia just simply for vacation. I didn't I didn't have any, although I am working on a new song that's it's gonna be a salsa joint. I've well First of all, I always, because I dance salsa. Yes, I I dance salsa, and I fell in love with salsa, and I always said I wanted to have my hand in salsa when it comes to music. Um, so that's gonna be my next joint, and is actually Colombia inspired. That's gonna be the theme of that song. It's a Colombian inspired, and I'm gonna be working on that very soon. Um, so just know it's gonna be on its way.
Mm. So what do you think of bringing Colombian girls over to the States? Do you think they changed the Western customs?
I know a lot of people would suggest not to. I personally wouldn't mind that. Because I know plenty of people who have done it, and they got the wife they want, and they get to live it here. Um, and I know many women who are immigrants here, who they're good people, and they stay good people, and they have a pretty good life, and they don't screw their husbands over, even with living in America. Um, and this is something that I just see on my own. So I wouldn't mind it. I know a lot of people that we look up to wouldn't suggest it, but I wouldn't mind doing it. I wouldn't think it's so far fetched, but you got to make sure you're holding the frame, and you are taking care of your woman. So you got to be making sure that you are financially able to take care of her for the long haul. So especially if you want her to uphold her feminine traditional values, you better be able to take care of her. So I would say it's on the guy, it's on you, it's on me to make sure that I'm financially able to take care of her the way I need to, if I'm especially if I'm going to bring her here. so that it's gonna help me hold the frame. Um, Although, you know, um, but that's just a small suggestion. Now, if guys plan to just keep her there, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because I'll never go against a man who wants to protect himself from any screw, any way getting screwed over. I'm trying to keep it somewhat clean here. Um, so any I would always, I'll never fault a man for wanting to protect himself from getting screwed over in any way, any shape or form. So if you're able to just keep her there and fly out pretty often, which you can, which is completely fine, which is completely legal. Um, Shoot, why not? Especially if you love, in Colombia, it's such a beautiful country. If I wouldn't blame you. The food is better. The everything's warmer year round, regardless of what month of the year it is. It's always going to be warm. The food is more pure. Lifestyle is more simple. You don't have to buy the most expensive designer clothes. you know rent's a lot cheaper. It's there's even though I'm saying I would personally bring the woman here, I still have to objectively give the argument for anyone who wants to keep their woman over there.
Mm. Now, would you say there's any negative traits a woman have in Colombia?
um there's besides, it's not, even though it's not so negative, they demand monogamy. um if you screw up, they will get loud with you. And there would be some shades of masculine in them, like, it's like, and they'll get in your face, they'll get in your ish, and they could be crazy. um Especially if you screw them over. And it still falls under where they demand the monogamy. And, oh, a lot of the girls could be flaky. That's big, that's huge. You have to just take that. Like, can't you can't take that so personally. They will be flaky, and it's all right. It's okay. But that's why, you have to always keep sourcing. Like, you always have to have backups. I personally have backups, and I have just in cases. In some cases, in the same city. Um, and that's like the one thing, they could be very flaky. Um,
Mm. So, is there any dangers to be aware of when in Colombia?
you would have to understand the exact area and the fact that you're a foreigner. So you have to walk on eggshells, as even if there's guys that's trying to like screw you over or trying to get one over you. Like, you know, one I remember one guy who's like a street vendor. He sells like bracelets. And he sells a lot of street vendors. They will get one, or they will try to get one over you, and they will be persistent, persistent, persistent. They do not take no for an answer, and they won't take no for an answer. So you as a foreigner, gotta maintain your cool at all times, because you're a foreigner. So if you try to, you can't be a hothead over there. Can't You cannot, because you don't know the laws, and you don't know how cruel, how harsh, or how long the punishments may be. So, and you don't know if you'll be banned from the country. You don't know if you'll be if the paperwork won't get to you on time like that. You don't know how dangerous the prison system is, especially in a third world country. You have to be walking on eggshells all time, and you have to maintain your cool at all times. If you're a hothead, don't go. Don't go. Don't. Because these people are persistent. They won't take no for an answer. Whether it's a street vendor, a SEX worker who work in the streets, if you know what I mean, you know. And yeah, yeah, you can't, like, you have to be walking on eggshells at all times.
Mm. So how's the religion there?
I know majority of them are Christian and or Catholic. Yeah, my majority of them are Christian and or Catholic. I don't think there's a big Muslim culture. Um, there might be some Jewish culture, but everyone is like, you know, they more side with Christian and or Catholic like beliefs. They like, por Dios, like for God, like, or everything about God, or if God's willing, si Dios quiere, like, or Dios, like, oh my God, like they always calling for God. They're all, especially the older women, they always want to pray. They're always about prayer, and but like I said, it's closer to Christian or Catholic religion. Um, Although if you're a man of means, like who have a lot of means, if you got it like that, it could offset, you know, the religion, if for a man that could take care of you. So, um, so
Mm.
yeah.
So how, Big Mo, how can people find you?
You can everyone can you can find me anywhere at BigMo underscore BITW, or you can Google how it's showed. I think is my name showed on the screen on live, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you even type in um Big Mo BITW on Google, Google will recognize that it's me. Um, and or like I said, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, um, all under the same name, oh, and YouTube, all under the same username, BigMo underscore BITW. That's BIGMO underscore BITW.
Also, guys, I will put the links in the description. So do check him out, man. He's a great guy, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So Mo, before we actually end the live stream, is there any last words for the viewers?
Well, um, I always want to say, um, thank you guys watching. I hope you guys continue to support, and hope you guys can, my latest single, Zulia, is out right now. It's a reggaeton song, and it's actually Venezuela inspired. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys listen. And I always got to say, don't forget the memo to believe in Big Mo, because that is the MO.
That was good, man. I like that. And there you have it, guys. Make sure to look after yourselves from around the world, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Have a good one.